De Blasio, faces tough questions in wake of CBS 2's report on city's forgotten families. All right, so what's going on in New York City? Mayor Bill de Blasio on Tuesday responded to multiple CBS 2 reports about the taxpayer-funded homeless program that's full of big problems. It's a story uncovered by CBS 2 last week. Family after family saying the city moved them out of homeless shelters into homes with no water, no heat, and crumbling walls. De Blasio admitted the way they're living is unacceptable, but every family who spoke with CBS 2 so far says the houses have been falling apart since the city pressured them to move in months ago. So months have gone by, nothing's been done. The latest involves another unlivable house in New Jersey and another working parent who says the Department of Homeless Services moved her out of a shelter and sent her there. Nikita White says things hit rock bottom one day in November. That was the day the toilet would no longer flush. I used a bucket. So what's going on here is New York City, which, by the way, New York City, Cuomo, I believe in 2017 and prior to that, has just passed legislation after legislation hurting homeless people. That's something he's done. You know, the progressive, Andrew Cuomo. So now Bill de Blasio has got to do something, and here's what he does. That's what he does. He puts them into homes without running water, without heat, with crumbling infrastructure. And just say, hey, let's just throw them there. Let's just throw them there. The city has plenty of programs to make sure the streets look nice, to make sure that when tourists go into Times Square, they don't see any homeless people in the morning. That's something New York City does, by the way. I've seen it. What they do is they go, this is literally something that I've witnessed. At about 5 or 6 in the morning, and I was awake because I had to catch a bus, but at about 5 or 6 in the morning, there are homeless people sleeping in Times Square typically. So what they do is they take a big truck and they blare music to make sure those people get the hell out. And they yell at them if they don't move. They just blare music across the streets. Oh, and you know what? The day I witnessed it, you know what they were playing? They were playing the song Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival. For those of you not in the know, that's a song about not being so fortunate. It ain't me, I ain't no fortunate son. Some people born with a silver spoon in hand. They were playing that song at homeless people. Richest country in the world. Wow. So de Blasio has to do something about this, and this is his response. So, you know, when you're assessing somebody on a national scale, you look at what they did locally. You look at how they're behaving locally. And some people when we brought him up on the live stream on Saturday over at the Jimmy Dore Show, de Blasio came up, and I mentioned that. And some people in the chat did say he was actually pushing for some type of single-payer system in New York. I've not seen anything in regards to that. If that is true, that's great, and that's definitely a good thing he did. And I'll factor that in there. But this is certainly not, a positive thing for his record. Just kind of trying to make it out like you're actually doing something about homelessness, but actually just kind of shuffling these people into unlivable conditions.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your